What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? It's your boy 4thEye, aka the Ghetto Guru. What it do? Y'all doing all right today? Everybody that's stepped in the building, y'all doing good? Hold up. Let me make sure I can turn that down. What's happening? What's happening? What it do? What it do? Hold up. I'm getting messages. Hold on. Okay. Y'all give me 1 second, man. 1 second. Good morning. Good morning. I was debating. I was like, I was gonna do the live at like 1, and then I was like, I was sitting here, and I was like, should I go live? And I was like, and fuck it. What's happening? What's happening? Billy Bob back in the building. What it do? What it do? Propagate. What is that? What's the name of it? I'm up here reading like an old man. What the hell is this? What that say? I got bad vision. I be wanting to say some of y'all's name, but then I'll be looking at the name and I'll be like, am I gonna say it right? I don't want to feel like I'm disrespecting nobody. It's- yeah, but we here, we are here, we are live. You know what I'm saying? We are live, man. If when I tell y'all today has been a day, today has been a day, man. When you one thing I can say about knowing who you are when you're dealing with people who don't know who they are, when you're dealing with people who are lost, when you're dealing with people who have trauma that they can't get over, they try to push that trauma on you, and you got to know how to block that shit out. You got to know how to reflect. Like they be trying to push all that negativity towards you. You got to learn how to just not even let it phase you, because a lot of people are miserable, and like the saying says, misery loves company, and people will try to drag you down with them. But one thing I can say that I'm proud of myself because I don't allow people to drag me down to that level. But I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to you and act like I don't be wanting to go to that level with them. Say you going through the same thing. It's crazy. Say, hold up, let me uh let me lift this up. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, it's definitely a skill because people, even when you tell people like I don't argue, I don't do all that extra, that lip wrestling and all that stuff, they'll still try to get you to argue with them because they basically walking around with them little spirits on them and they don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? And they'll try to drag you down with them. Like I ain't going in the mud with you. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how people be, but that's just how this world is. You got some people that just don't like to see you at peace. They want to see you going through what they going through. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always smiling. Even if I'm not in a good mood, I put myself in a good mood because it's just some people. That's why, like I was talking to this girl. I was like, that's why I be to myself because I'm not letting nobody's toxic behavior, nobody's toxic energy infiltrate my energy. You get what I'm saying? This ain't this little ride we on in this physical life. It's gonna end. It's gonna end, and I ain't about to be wasting it by arguing and dealing with negativity all the time. People be just tripping. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I'm so happy that I woke up early. Now I ain't gonna say I woke up like to being like some conscious person who really wasn't into, because I just got to the point where I'm like, I ain't dealing with no negativity. Back in the day, even though I was having out of bodies, I still would indulge into the negativity. If somebody was talking to me crazy, I was gonna come back at them because we taught, especially as men, we are taught that that aggression. You know, you show that aggression. You tough, masculine. When actuality, you showing your being aggressive is not a masculine trait. You know what I'm saying? It's actually an uncontrolled feminine trait. But a lot of people don't be realizing this stuff. But sorry about that. Now I was at work and I did something. I stepped in this you know how the ground be unlevel? And I stepped in it and my ankle been bothering me this whole day. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of that people trying to piss me off today. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get into what we get into. How everybody doing today? I know you say you were going through the same thing I'm going through, so I know what you're going through. That's just woosah. Nah. Cause sometimes that little part of me in my head, when they be doing that, that little old version of me, it be want to pop off. But then I just sit back and I just say, I be like, man, just think. Don't even let it bother you. You know what I'm saying? They want to see you in your low vibrational state. They don't want to see you vibrating high. They want to see you vibrating low. They want you to go where they go. That's why I say a lot of people, when they go, they're gonna be in a low vibrational realm because of shit like that. Because they don't know how to control their emotions. So it's tough when it's your work environment and you have to be there. Yeah, that's even tougher because you gotta still abide by the rules of that job. You know what I'm saying? It says that's how it is for me. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. That's why they're gonna be if they can't get that right. I be feeling sad for people sometimes when they be having that toxic energy and they just can't get past it. Little things make them act out of character, and you be like, damn, like you can't get your. Why is it that you can't control your emotions? It's family with me, and I'm realizing I gotta leave them. Yeah, you gotta let them go. I mean, it ain't even fact that you know what I'm saying, you still love them, but you got to put them in a category and you got to deal with them how you deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Stay your distance. I love you, but I got to stay away from you because you don't bring me nothing good. All you bringing is negative energy. I be telling people that and they don't be believing me. I be like, if you bringing negativity to me, I'm not going to hang around you. I'm not going to be around you. Then they be trying to, you know, say, no, I'm not doing that. But even though right now I've been in hermit mode. I go to work, I come home. I do this, I work on this, I work on other thing and that's it. I don't be dealing with nothing. Nobody. Well, I do talk to a couple people, but as far as like just having a bunch of people in my environment, because in one thing, like one reason why I'm not like that, I can't be living my life in negativity and all that stuff because I've seen those realms where these people be going. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't trying to go there. I ain't trying to be lost and stuck in some realm, walking around like a zombie and shit. Cause I can't get my emotions under control. As soon as they leave, they gonna be sitting there. Oh my god, what do I do now? You, if you would have got your shit together when you was on Earth, when you left Earth, you probably would have went somewhere better. But your energy's so damn low. You the only place you can go is to a low vibrational state. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? What's happening? It says, boy, what you doing up? I just watched your last okay, let me read on this. And now I just watched your last live, man. We need to do an interview. Fucks with me. All right, let hit my inbox. I mean, I said my inbox. This ain't no goddamn Facebook or TikTok. Uh hit my email. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and give me 1 second. Just in case anybody want to contact me, I'm just go ahead and write my email address in the comments. Oh shit, I didn't write it right. Y'all was gonna be sending it to somebody else. Boom. What's happening? KC in the building. Yeah. But yeah, I've been in hermit mode for 3 years. I'm going on two. I've been chilling. I ain't been dealing with no drama. I got enough going on that I don't need to be dealing with nobody. Cause sometimes people have drama and they'll try to bring that shit to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm on a different, I'm trying to be a better person. And people don't want that. They don't want that. Did I write that shit right? Yeah, I think I did. But yeah, and that's what get people a lot of people lost is because they can't control them they emotions. They got this spirit on them. They got this spirit on them that's just not they can't be in high vibration. They can't see you and be like, I'm happy for you. You know what I'm saying? When they feel like you're doing something good, they feel like why are you not popping out? Why I don't see you that much? What are you doing? They want to know what you're doing. All these things, it's like they can't focus on their own life. They got a lot of drama in their life. But yeah, don't be like that. Don't be like those people. If you don't know how to control your emotions, don't even get in, don't even hang around people. Get yourself right. Get yourself right. Don't be worried about what nobody else is doing. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't going when you leave this earth, they ain't gonna leave with you. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be they sitting over there lost. You don't need to be lost with them. At 4thEye living. Hold up, let me. Okay, it says. Wait there. Hold up. Let me put that on screen. I'm aware that sometimes when one comes back from an OBE, their spiritual abilities are heightened. What about you? When it comes to me, I feel like my intuition is very high. Um, and it's not always necessarily they get these certain gifts. Sometimes you won't even know what your gift is. It might be a gift that you got that you don't even know what it is. You might find it a year, 3 years after you done had your experiences and stuff. It's been certain times where I've sensed something in what I've sensed. I'll be like I might be talking to somebody and I'll be like, something ain't right about this person. And most people have these gifts, but they these gifts are always like they kind of numb down because like we say we all put in this realm and forgetfulness, and then we indoctrinated with all these things. We taught that all this woo woo stuff is woo woo, it's crazy. You need to be in the psych ward or something. So your intuition will get strong. You might even with electronics. I have problems with electronics. I don't know if it's because of my energy. I don't know what it is, but I have problems with electronics. It don't matter what it is. Somebody else can hook up the same setup I got and this shit runs perfectly. I set up my stuff and I'll be sitting there and that shit be skipping. The it might shut off. I might say like it's weird stuff. But I feel like my abilities is more so in the out of body experience. You know what I'm saying? It's like the things that I can do. It says, oh shit. It says, do you only have two likes? There's 12 people here. I'm the third. Like, oh, I don't even know how you see that. If you coming in the building, like the live so somebody else can see it live. You know what I'm saying? Hello, I got you. Appreciate you. What you do. Appreciate you too, bro. What's the name? Chilling with uh Dina Studio. Dina Studio. It says there is. Yeah, I didn't even know you could look at how many people liked it. Y'all know I'm kind of slow when it comes to this. I don't be knowing what I'm doing. I just click record and I just get up on here. But I want to get into this six. What says? I'm looking at it on YouTube. Okay, okay. Like the live if you in the building. Like the live. Do the like. I was about to ask a question, but I don't need to ask a question. Let's get into it. Um, people, I really want to. I think today made me really want to get on live, but then I was like, should I get on live? Because I really don't want to. I don't know, but from what I was dealing with today, it made me want to get on live because I'm like, man. don't be like don't be like these people that's always negative, because that's gonna lower your vibration. And you you don't like, even say for y'all trying to have out of bodies, some of y'all having out of bodies. If you be like those people, when you leave your body, you will not you ain't gonna be experiencing no good stuff. Because imagine that person going out and having to face themselves. They can't face themselves. They can't even face themselves in reality. That's why they got so much anger and bitterness inside of them, because and they can't even be in a house by themselves for too long. They got to go kick it. They got to go be with this person. They got to go be with that person, because they have no real self love. I had a full blown OBE from hold up, let me. I had a full blown OBE from Michael Raduga. Have you heard of him? I don't even know. I hope I said his name right. No, I haven't heard of him. He says, and I had an NDE. Oh, you see, you had a real experience. Yeah, I would like to hear that experience. It says, I got in a truck wreck, had an NDE. Yeah, I would actually like to hear that story. The NDEs are really interesting to me, because when I first like started like looking into YouTube, and I seen a video where it was like an NDE, and I was listening to it. Now, there's many stories about NDEs, and people going to heaven, and then you got the ones of the people that say they went to hell, and it's like, whoa, wow, that shit used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. Yeah, NDE story time, please. I didn't have the NDE. I just had out of bodies, but I didn't. Yeah. I would love to hear that though. But what it said there? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. If you don't mind, that is. Oh, I want I went to the void in my NDE. Oh, so you went to that's something that was tripping me out too, because when I seen the people talking about NDEs, and they was talking about going to the void, because I was going to the void and out of body experiences, and I was like, hold up, so I'm going to the same place they going to. So I'm thinking something was weird. I'm like, why I keep going to like, I'll be coming out my body, and then I'll fly up or something. Not next, I'm in this void, and I'm like, why am I in this dark ass, just nothingness? No, but it's just nothing but darkness. It says, I sent you an email. It just opened up my energy. It did. That's what's up. It says, Texas on my way to work. That's what's up. That's what's up. Be safe. Be safe while you on your way to work. Is it true in NDE and OBE we experience what we believe in? It says what we believe in. Is that true? Hmm. Well, even in the outer body, you might experience what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like your what you because you might create something based off, because you're a powerful person. This is what people don't realize. You are very powerful. That's why you need to control your thoughts, or control yourself, because you can pretty much create anything. You know what I'm saying? If you have a thought, like people who they feel like they've been indoctrinated to say, if they die. This is why a lot of people end up in these hellish realms, because they, even if they don't believe, because believing is not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Believing is partially doubt. You know what I mean? Because I can believe a train is gonna run through my house right now, but that train ain't. It don't mean it's gonna come through. It says Google. Oh damn! I keep Google. Many death experiences in the report lasting, often permanent disruptions of electromagnetic EM devices, with studies indicating up to 73% experience such effects. Common issues. Hmm. The more you know. No, it says include causing watches to stop, light bulbs to burn out, computers to crash, and phones to glitch. Hmm. You know what? That experience I was telling y'all about, when I went through the light. When I came back, I thought I probably had died. I probably did have an NDE and didn't even know it. I probably was just like, I was in out of body the whole time. I was laying on the couch dead as a motherfucker, because I was in that thing for a minute. I mean, and mind you, I've had experiences where I was in them for a long time. So It's not like it wasn't like it wasn't normal. But you know what? Something made me want to talk about this. I wanted to talk about. I don't know if y'all know. Do y'all know? Because y'all know about like African spirituality as far as like Ifa, the Orishas. You know what I'm saying? Have y'all heard about those things? Not many people as I mean, nowadays a lot of people probably know about it, but not a lot of people actually know about the Ifa or the Orishas and stuff like that. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for that 10, dog. Keep going, man. Sending love to the chat. Y'all have a great full moon. Oh, it's a full moon. I didn't even know it, man. That's probably why somebody was trying to get me to spaz out. Appreciate you, fam. But yeah, I want to talk about that. How you know how people like I was raised in church. I was not raised in church like I had to go to church. My mama never really forced us to go to church, but we went to church. You know what I'm saying? So, in church you taught that anything that is outside of the Bible is demonic. It says night chilling, stay blessed. All right, y'all stay blessed already. But it's certain things when I started realizing when it came to outer bodies, it was like the things people was telling me in church. It's like when I started having out of body experiences, I was experiencing different like things that contradicted what they were saying. But then I'm like, when I would tell people like, "Hey, I had an out of body experience," and the fact that I said out of body, they already like, "Oh no, what do you mean? Are you on drugs? Did you do this? You might be crazy. You might be have some demons trying to attack you." But they be talk about Jesus, all this stuff, and they demonize all these other cultures. You know what I'm saying? They demonize all these other cultures. So as a Christian, I wasn't gonna look up that stuff because I'm a Christian. I'm not gonna research nothing that's that's demonic. So I didn't do it. But years later, I end up having these experiences where I was being like I was meeting. Well, I say I was these orishas. And the first one, no, the first one was an Orisha by the name of Obatala, and that experience was kind of, it wasn't scary, but it was weird. But I was I came out my body, and I told the story before, but I just want to tell it on the live because it might be some new people coming off in here. And they feel like sleep paralysis was because I was doing it. Made me keep all my experiences to myself. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. When I came out my body, I floated up and I landed in this place. This place looked like it was like dirt roads everywhere. It didn't have no real roads. It was like dirt roads. It was a lot of people walking around. It looked like I was in like Africa or like Haiti or something. But it was sunny outside. Um, and when I landed on the ground, I was walking around and stuff. I'm looking at the people. They not bothering me. I'm not bothering them. I'm just walking around and I look into the sky. When I look in the sky, it's this man standing in the sky like this. It's like there's nothing. He's standing on nothing. He's just standing there. And he looked like he had on some samurai clothes. He's just standing there in the sky. And I'm looking at him. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Who the hell is that? So I'm walking. And as I'm walking, I can see his head doing this. I can see him turning his head like this. Like he's following all my movements. And I'm like, well, like, what the hell? Like, why is he watching me? Like, who is this dude watching me? Because he got me kind of like tripping out a little bit. Because I'm like, this motherfucker standing in the sky on nothing, and he's looking at me. He's following my every move. So I go on the other side of the gate because I'm like, I don't want to. I want to try to get away from him because he's looking at me. So I'm like, let me get away. I get on the other side of the gate. Then I see him jump down. He jumped down to the ground. Boom. And I could see him, like I seen him hit the ground, and he's on the other side of the gate. He had a stick in his hand. He was tapping the gate like like each wooden little, because they didn't look like it didn't look like a gate. It looked like they had like trees, like them thick trees, and it made a gate with that, like a fence or gate. But he's tapping the wood pa, pa, as he's walking, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to have to fuck somebody up. That's what I'm thinking in my head, like he about to be over here. He already looking like a damn samurai. So I'm like, oh, I'm about to have to fight. So I'm getting myself ready. I'm prepared. I start walking towards the part of the gate where he would end up. So when he walked around, I would be right there. So I walked to the end of the gate. Soon as I see him, hit the corner, I grabbed him and I was like, we started like kind of like it. I wasn't hitting him and he wasn't hitting me. It was like we was doing, but he was like dodging my punches, blocking my punches. He trying to hit me and I'm moving him. And then eventually I grabbed him by his chest plate because he had on this like samurai type outfit. I grabbed him by his chest plate and I leaned him over like this on my like on my knee. And I was like, who are you? Like, why are you following me? Like, why are you looking at me? Like I'm talking to him and he's just smiling. He's just looking at me like this. And I'm like, who are you? And he was like, Obatala. And in my head, I'm like, who the hell is that? I don't know who no Batala is. And when he said that, as soon as he said he was Obatala, the whole realm turned and it looked like I was in the inside of like a tornado, like a dirty tornado, like just dirt. But it was a tornado. And I'm holding him the whole time while I'm spinning through this dang vortex. And we just spinning together. And the whole time he's just looking at me and he's just smiling. And when I woke up, I was like, who the fuck is Obatala? And I asked one of my friends that stayed across the street because he knew all about like these ancient cultures and all that stuff. And because I tried to look it up, but I was like, I don't even know if I know how to spell his name. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I asked him, I was like, you ever heard somebody named Obatala? And he was like, Obatala is a sky deity. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, sorry for my language, but I'm like, what the hell? Like, what? The sky deity. I seen, and I told him the dream. I said, I seen him in the sky. He was standing in the sky like this. He jumped down. We ended up fighting, whoop, whoop, this and that. He was like, that's an Orisha. And this and whoop. He started telling me stuff about it. So when I got home, I started looking it up and I was like, this is crazy. How the hell did I experience something that I knew nothing about? How did I experience somebody or a Orisha that I never knew of? I didn't even know the name Orisha. You know what I'm saying? At 4thEye, just sent you $10. He said another one? Oh shit, what did I just do? Appreciate you, appreciate you. I think he left the building, man. Oh, okay, he got another comment. But yeah, let me highlight that one because I want to see what it say. But yeah, that was that experience, and it was like tripping me out because I'm like, how do you experience what we call deities or I don't know much about Ifa like deep into it because you ain't gonna really know much about Ifa or these certain spiritual practices unless you are initiated into it. So I only know what I can see online that I've researched. Okay, but it says I seen a dude that looked like Fetty Wap, and he was as big as the sky. He had one eye. I was the first African person. It was the first African person I seen. Oh damn, for real? My it says maybe that was maybe that was a good your ancestors. A God that my ancestors, yeah, it possibly could have been. You know what I'm saying? I thought about that too. And the crazy part is I did like an ancestry, and I know a lot of people ain't really into doing DNA ancestry tests and all that stuff, but I don't be caring about that type of stuff. Cause when I'm gone, I'm gone. No. but and I have more Nigerian in me, and I found out, and it was like Yoruba, and that's where that culture comes from. So that was kind of strange. I mean, to me, I was like, damn, it might be because even after that, I've had other experiences with other Orishas, you know. But I had one. It says at fourth eye. My bad. I didn't know it was sent already. Oh no, you good, bro. I appreciate you looking out. I appreciate you looking out. But yeah, other than that, I've had multiple experiences with Orishas. I had experience with no, I didn't. I can't technically say I had an experience with Ogun. I had an experience where they called me Ogun, and I was confused because I was like, "Why are they calling me Ogun?" Um, but I don't know if it's because I was I don't know what it was, why they was calling me Ogun, but I know in this experience, I was I don't know why I got upset, but I had the out of body and I ended up in this house. And the crazy part, this place wasn't no messed up looking place. It didn't look negative. It didn't look like that. But when I went outside, it was like a bunch of animals outside. And I'm like, and I don't know what made me feel like I needed to, it was something I needed to protect or something. I felt like I needed to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I go out there and I'm like, I start chasing after all the, I'm like, I'm start running at them. And they turned into a bunch of women with like wearing baby blue, like a light blue. I'll say baby blue, like a light blue. They turned into these women and they put their hands up and they was like, "Oh, goon, stop. Oh, goon." But they was saying it like, you know how you see like somebody about to do something bad. You be like, "Stop. Don't do that. Stop it." They was like, "Oh, goon, stop." And it made me stop because I was like, why they calling me this? Like, why they calling me Ogun? Like, and at that time, I'm like, who is Ogun? You know what I mean? So that was strange to me, and I always want to talk to somebody who was a part of that culture to get an understanding as to why I'm experiencing Orishas and I don't practice Ifa or those other like the other like Santeria or all these other spiritual systems. Like, why am I experiencing them? Because I seen one, I don't know which one this was, but I know it was, I was thinking it was Oshun, but they was like pouring water on the ground. Like it says maybe that was a past life for you. Could have been. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't even know. Maybe cause I had one, cause man, I done been in out of bodies and this Orisha stuff, it pops up every once in a while, not all the time. But I had an out of body and I was an old ass man. I was an old man and it looked like I was in the future. I was real old and I was like a grandpa or something. I don't know. But it was a young girl in the house. And when I looked at her, I can see a balance in her, like a something. I forgot what I called her. I would have to look into my maybe I talked about it before, I don't know. But I was talking to her and I was explaining to her about Orishas. And I don't know. I don't like when I woke up, I'm like, was I saying some bullshit? Because how did I know so much? Because I'm telling her like you have this and this and that and that. Like I'm explaining everything to her, and I can't even tell you what the hell I was saying because I don't even know if what I was saying was some real shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sitting there like, how do I know this? That was a really weird futuristic reality. Because when I went outside, this man pulled up in a car. Apparently, he was a friend of mine. He pulled up in his car. The car looked like uh weirder than a cyber truck, if you know what I'm talking about. Them cyber trucks be like all boxy and shit. It was like weird. And outside, the like the house was like weird. It was a nice size house, but it had this weird type shower in the house. And it wasn't like water. It was something else. But it wasn't water. I just know that because I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this shower? Like this shower is weird. And I went out there and I was talking to him. Man, I'm gonna have to see if I can find where I talked about that at. So I mean, because I think I recorded it on the audio, but I don't think I talked about it. But yeah, that was another one. The scariest one to me was the one with who I believe was Yemenya. Yemenya, mother, she like the mother Orisha or something like that. Don't forgive me if I'm wrong though. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't play with other people's spiritual systems. I don't like to disrespect nobody's beliefs and stuff because I know it's a lot of people that get online and they talk about Orishas and they talk about this and they talk about that and they be saying the names wrong. They say that they priests and priestesses, and the whole time they don't they just self-proclaiming themselves to be this, and they doing these voodoo rituals, and you know what I'm saying, putting spells and all that stuff. It's like, nah, you. That's why I don't. Yeah, I don't play around, because I've seen a couple people life get ruined, playing around with the Orishas and thinking that it was a game. You know what I'm saying? They saying names wrong. I remember I was with my ex, and it was a guy online. I'm not gonna say his name because he's very popular, and I don't want to offend nobody. You know what I'm saying? But when I seen him, it wasn't the fact that I didn't agree with some of the stuff he was saying. When I seen him talking about the Orishas, because by then I knew a little bit, and when I seen him talking about Orishas, he kept saying the names wrong, and I'm like, who is he talking about? He talking about Yamaja, uh, uh, all these names. It was just saying them wrong, and I'm like, damn, he butchering these names. I'm like, if you are somebody who practices this, how are you saying the names wrong? And he was burning these candles. He bought like the statues. He had the statues and stuff of Ogun, Obatala, and he was having them on the table. But the thing about like practices like that, at least from what I've researched, if you have statues of, like, say I have Obatala and I have Ogun and I have this, they supposed to have their own space. I know that sounds crazy, but the energies don't supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, in the same vicinity, because it cause chaos within the energy of your home and stuff like that. But he had this, and he had the deals, he had the candle, he had the green for Ogun, he had all these different ones, and he was wearing the lekes, and I think they call it lekes, the necklaces with the different colors and stuff. He was wearing those, and he kept saying the names wrong. And I told my ex, I was like, I said, something gonna happen bad to this dude. And she was like, why you say that? I was like, because he's speaking on a culture that he does not understand. He's saying their names wrong. He's not even saying their names right. He's like, just, he just like did a little bit of research and didn't even research how to say the names. It's like that's not gonna end well, and it didn't end well. I ain't gonna say what happened to him. He didn't die, but it didn't end well at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they won't see him online for a long time, and he's not the only one. You know what I'm saying? It was another guy. I'll say his name. They called him Nature Boy. I'll say his name because he was on some wild, like type shit. What they say at 4th Mother? Okay, maybe that was a bad life for you. Yeah. Hold up. Okay. So yeah, he was online. He was doing a bunch of wild stuff. He had a whole cult. He was in the beginning when I seen his videos, it seemed like he was on the right track. He like want to live in nature. You know what I'm saying? With his, it says they just did a Hulu doc on Nature Boy. For real? Yeah, it was wow. It was crazy. Because I used to watch his videos in the beginning when he first started, because he was like humble. He was like, I'm moving to nature. And the system I'm saying, oh man, that's a good idea, because I'm like, damn, that's good. You know what I'm saying? And next, as it progressed, it became a cult. You know what I'm saying? It became a cult. And then I'm watching it now because I'm like, is this serious? You know what I'm saying? Because you know how cults is. When people join cults, is you got the cult leader, then you got the followers. The cult leader, what the cult leader says, the followers have to say too. And that's how that was. If he said something, they could not agree with it. I mean, they couldn't disagree with it. They had to go with it. Yes, master teacher, or whatever they used to say. Yes, Baba. They was calling him all kind of stuff, and it was like crazy. He was talking about stuff that I probably won't even say on this live. That was kind of sick. You know what I mean? And he's he was dating he would like take the other dude's women and try to make, like, they wasn't technically his wives, but you know how they do. They'd be like, I got these many wives. They believe in polygamy. And I ain't saying nothing wrong if you practice polygamy. Hey, live your life. But the way they was doing it was kind of sick. You know what I'm saying? They all being sexual with each other, spreading diseases. You know what I'm saying? And he say you joined this group and you got a wife, you got a woman, and he'd be like, you know what? I like your wife. They was just letting their girls go to him, and I'm like, what kind of man is you that you would go to this man living in wherever he was because they was living in different places and let him take your woman, and then you sitting around a bunch of other men with your shirt off talking about I love myself. You don't love yourself. You letting some man take your woman. He the only one that he's the master chief. You know what I'm saying? But he also insulted the Orishas. And before he ended up getting caught up and locked up, he was calling himself, I forgot what he was calling himself. It says, yeah, that's unfortunately pretty common. Yeah. It's like if you watch anything on cult, it's like they all the same. That's why on my videos I always be like, if you disagree with something I say, that is perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? That is perfectly fine. Because I don't want nobody to look at me as if as we a cult. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want that. It's like some bad energy with that cult type shit. You know, it said it appears that the veil to the spirit realm is thin because you already did the work in your other past lives and are here now to pass it on as well as learn. We are honored to be taught by you. Hey man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I hope I did learn something because I don't want to do this again. He said, I don't pray nor worship anything or anyone outside of myself. We are sovereign beings who should always go within. You definitely should go within. But they was definitely worshiping that man. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. It's like that was wicked. You know, and he was on there calling some of his followers certain Orisha names, and he was saying that he was a certain Orisha. And it's like, bro, as soon as I seen that, I told my something's about to happen to him. Man, he ended up getting locked up. Yep. He won't be out for a minute. You know what I'm saying? You don't play with things you don't understand. Appreciate you. Yes, Lord. But yeah, you don't play with stuff you don't understand. You leave that stuff alone. Like I talk about Orishas and stuff when I have those experiences and stuff, but you're not gonna see me over here with wearing elekes and doing readings or like whatever that when they be throwing the little shells, the carry shells or something. You ain't gonna see me pretending like I'm a Ephi priest. Like I ain't about to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? If I decided one day that I wanted to be initiated into that type of spiritual system, that would be a that you know what I'm saying? I would do that if I decided that was something that I needed to do. But I'm not about to be over here pretending like I'm some Ephi priest or some Santerian priest and all this stuff and then making it seem like I know certain things about these Orishas and I don't know a damn thing. Cause I ain't gonna lie, sometimes you can have an out of like if you see them in out of body, sometimes it can be creepy. It can be very creepy sometimes. At least one time, it was very creepy because I didn't know what the hell was going on. It was I was hearing the music, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And I'm walking around. It's like food court. Next, you know, I'm sitting on a bench, and I might butcher this story because I haven't taught it, I haven't said it, or at least even thought about it in a while. I might be saying it all off, but I'm just gonna try to say it the best I can. But I started sitting on this bench and a guy walked up to me and he like I think he like knelt down or something to me and I was like what is he doing and this and that and I'm tripping. Next you know it's like they started celebrating something. I'm seeing balloons and it was like then the music was and I'm like what the hell is going on. Next you know my consciousness shifted and I'm sitting in a room, like a living room, and I'm sitting on a couch and it's this big black dude, and he's standing there, and he's just looking at me like this. And it's these other African people, and they just dancing around. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was creepy as hell. That shit was creepy as hell. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was just sitting there like this, like whole time he just staring at me. Not like evil or nothing. It was almost like he was trying to figure me out or something. But he was just staring at me. And it was just like the little African drums and stuff they be playing. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I didn't get scared, but I was creeped out a little bit. I was like, what for? I wish I could remember the fullness of that story so I can really get in detail with y'all about that story. But I've had many, like the story I told y'all about when I was in that realm is like nothing but like deities. It says I feel like the more people believe in something, the more it becomes a real thing. Like with belief systems and curses. Yeah, I believe that too. But when it came to the Orishas, for me, I didn't know nothing about them, so it was like I didn't even understand how I was even experiencing them. Um, let's see, what it's a lot of different things that I've experienced when it comes to out of bodies that I'd be like, how the hell did I experience this? And I don't even know nothing about this. You know what I mean? Um, okay, it says I had an OBE last night. We wet. It says wet outside my house, and there were 6 foot tall reptilian creatures. Two of them running real fast around my house in circles. I panicked and said, "All illusions end." And I woke up. Damn, they said they were like reptilians. And you say, then I woke up. Yeah, that's correct. That's a. I mean, it probably wasn't. You probably needed to wake up. Nah, just play. I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't really know too much about the reptilians because I've never been in like real like um close proximity to them. I've seen the reptilians like in a distance, except for that little. I was wondering if that little pale white dude I seen if he was a reptilian because he had reptilian like skin, but he was just pale white. But I've never had a conversation with any of them. I seen one that was like ordering around a whole group of other people that look like humans. But let me see what you say. Kind of reminds me of a scene in the movie Eyes Wide Shut with the creepy music and dancing. I've never seen that. I might have to look it up. I might have to watch it. Um, oh shoot, it says big creatures with tails, but it was dark, so I don't know. Hmm. You ever seen what's that movie called? What's that movie called? Jupiter Ascending or something like that. Jupiter Rising, and they had them reptilians and they had them big ass tails, and it was like that's what it kind of sounded like when you were saying that. That's what I thought of when you said that. It says could be Tolpa. What's that? Tolpa. Am I saying that right? But yeah, the that little experience was creepy. It says no, never saw it. I forgot. I think it's called Jupiter or something like Jupiter Ascending or something. But it's a pretty decent movie. It says it sounded like they were honoring you with the dancing and drums. Yeah, that's what it seemed like because the dude kind of knelt down and then he was, and I was like, what are they doing it for? You know what I'm saying? I hate when I feel lost and I'm not getting answers because he wasn't talking to me. He was just looking at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here, see this big buff black dude looking at me. Like, hold up, why your shirt off? No, this ain't freaky, right? This ain't nothing freaky about to happen because I ain't with this. I don't want no parts of no freaky freak off. Find out it was Diddy sitting there staring at me. Had a baby oil in his hand. Nah, he said, I'll just make myself laugh. Nah, I was, but he had his shirt off. It's all like, oh shit, P Diddy. Nah, let me stop because that might have been something serious, and I apologize, whatever that was. Nah, but nah. But I had a bunch of experiences where I've experienced, but I have seen some freaky shit. I've seen some freaky shit. Like when I say freaky shit, I mean like freaky. That experience where I said it was like nothing but like deities and stuff. It's like it's this place where I would go and I said where I would go. But it was like in this place, it was like an apartment and out in the outer body. I was just normal, like I'm in this apartment. This is cool. This is nice. It feel like this is like my home. And I'm walking around the apartment, all this stuff. I go to the balcony. I look off the balcony, and I'm like, "This is nice. This is nice." And I went, I went to. He said, "Must have been your bodyguard." I hope so. Hopefully, it was my bodyguard, not P. Nah, but Yeah, I looked out the back and I looked at everything. I'm like, this is a nice apartment. I'm looking at the apartment, look at the kitchen. I'm looking at everything because I know I'm in an out of body. So I'm like, this is pretty cool. I go to the back room and there's another balcony. And I'm like, where does this balcony go? And I go out the door to go to the balcony, and it's not necessarily a balcony. It's like a different room. It wasn't, you didn't see outdoors. It was like you seen in this whole different room where you had to go down to go into this room. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is a whole nother different part of the house. Like, is this a part of the house? Because this is kind of dark. Because it was like in this room, it was dark, but it had like these, it was like these crystals or something on the walls and stuff that kind of shimmered, like glistened. And it was this big round, like, it was like this big round table. Not a table, it was like cement, but it was like a big old, like a cement table. I said table, but I don't know. I can't think of what to really call it. But hold on, let me read. It said, shaking my head, I would be so afraid of something like that. But I learned to I learned today that fear is only false evidence appearing real. Maybe that's our dreams and experiences as well. Yeah, but yeah, that's true. That's true. Fear is, what I'm saying? It's not, I mean, it's real, but it's not real. You know what I'm saying? It's only real if you allow it to be real. Like say you only in fear if you allow yourself to be in fear. You know what I'm saying? But when I seen it was a guy sitting in the middle of that table. I'm gonna say table, even though it wasn't a table. It was a guy sitting in the middle of that table, like Indian style, just sitting in the middle of the table. Um, and so I walked down there, and when I walked down, there's these two guys standing there at the bottom of the stairs, almost like bouncers type. And I'll look at them, they look at me, and they just let me go. And when I'm in there, the guy that was sitting in the middle of that little table type section, he didn't really say nothing to me, but I started seeing people coming in, and everybody that came in had this thing that hovered over the top of their head. And when I was in the experience, I was like, that's I can tell. I was like, that's so and so, like that's a so and so God, that's this God, and that's this God. And I'm like, why am I here? So all of them are around and they just going around and talking to some of them. And it's not like we having some conversation like what's reality and what's this and this and that. And like we just having a regular conversation. But I'm looking at these things on top of their head and I'm like, I don't think I belong here because I'm looking at them. I'm like, these are deities. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. So once it got to a point where it was like a bunch of people in there, oh, when it was like a bunch of people in there, I was like, yeah, I need to go because I don't know. I don't feel like this is I'm supposed to be here because it was almost like they was having a meeting, and I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. So I started like creeping off to the side, and when I went to try to go back up those stairs to get back into that apartment that I was in, when I tried to go, the dudes that was standing by that little exit way, they stopped me. They was like, "No, you gotta stay." And I'm like, "What? Like, what you mean I gotta stay?" He like, "Yeah, you can't. You gotta stay." And I'm like, "For what?" Like, in my head, I'm like, "You don't see all these damn deities? I ain't no damn like. What do you don't see? I need to go." But he like, "No, you gotta stay." So I stayed. I'm walking around there. I never looked to see if anything was floating over the top of my head, but I knew that all these other people, it was these symbols that was floating on top of their head. And when I was in the experience, I knew what those symbols meant, and I knew who they were. And so after they had their little meeting that I don't know what the hell the meeting was about or what they was talking about, uh, I walked out. We walked not up into the apartment, into a whole nother area. It's like a big party type atmosphere. Walking through there. And as I'm walking, I'm seeing stuff. Not like what you would think, like, oh, I'm gonna see some godly stuff and they're gonna be in here like, oh no. It was people getting freaky. It was like like they got that little symbol on their head. They laying on the couch. It's like women laying on top of them, and the women touching all on them, just sitting there. And I'm like, what the fuck going on? Where the fuck am I at? I'm gonna freak off. Like I'm telling you that this last one, I swear, did it? Nah. But I'm walking around. It like all of them wasn't doing this, but it was like certain ones that was doing the freaky shit. And I'm like, When I seen that, I was just like, let me keep going, mind my business, keep walking. And at a point, I just started like playing around and just doing like floating around the air, like I was like floating above the like right above the ground like this. And it was making me like move real fast. I'm like floating around, and I started talking to this one what I seen as a deity at the time. He was very androgynous, if that's the word I'm looking for. But he was like his voice was like he just seemed very androgynous. It says, I remember one of your experiences. You saw giant Vikings and they started having sex. I remember that you talked about that. It tripped me out. Yeah. But it was like on that in that experience when I seen that, it was like I wasn't seeing them do it, but it was like I did see it was like a it was almost like a not a movie or a picture. It was like a picture, but it was showing like history, like what they was doing. It was like they used to be over there fucking and this and that. And I was like, what? That's the one where I went outside of that construct, and it looked like I was inside of a dollhouse. It wasn't a dollhouse. You know how the science projects used to have those little deals like this. That's what I was wondering because I was like, I've been out the construct, but in this one, it was like I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I just popped out of a damn dollhouse, and now I'm looking at it. Then I see another one pop out, and then a dude pop out, and the woman got mad at the other dude and told him, "Don't you mess around in my don't you be messing up like in her construct." It was crazy. She was like, "You trying to, you know what I'm saying, like, I guess like manipulate things within her construct or something." And yeah, that was creepy. But the one with the deities, he was talking like, "Well, hello." I'm like, well, I didn't do that, but I'm like thinking in my head like, why are you talking like that? Well, hello. And he was big. He wasn't like fat, but he was like big. And I'm like, I'm just trying to really go figure out what the fuck going on and really kick it with some people that's kind of cool. But I don't know if they wasn't cool or not, but they just seemed freaky. Freaky and like kind of standoffish. Some of them was talkative. Some of them just seemed, it was just like, I don't know if I want to be over here. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I floated my butt outside this outside area, and a lady started talking to me, and I can't really remember what she was saying to me, but I think I did speak about that before, but I might need to go and look at my. There's too many videos on there. I'll try to go back and look for it, and then I can't find it. But yeah, that was pretty creepy. You have a bunch of weird experiences in outer bodies, like giants, really big. I ain't talking about like 9 foot, 10 foot. I ain't talking about 12 foot, 17 foot. I'm talking about giants, like big, big. Like can like okay. I'll just say for instance, like the experience I told y'all about. It says you should write a book, Chris, and call it My Out of Body Travels. I would read it. I'm actually working on a book, but I've been kind of slow playing a little bit, but I've been actually working on a book. But yeah, like it was an experience that I told y'all, well, some of y'all about. Um, I don't know if y'all remember, but it was the one where I was telling you how I came out my body and I floated down. It was like I was in this apartment type complex, and I was running around real fast, and then I seen this woman, and I looked at her because back then when I was having these out of bodies, I used to be like, because I can fly, I can manipulate things and all this stuff. I was like, see, I used to always when I see somebody, I used to always wonder like, are they having an out of body experience too? So when I walked up to the lady and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And she's like, hey. And I said, you want to fly? And she was like, fly. I was like, do you want to fly? She was like, sure. And I told her to grab my hands. And when she grabbed my hands, I started flying up in the air with her. I started flying up. We got real high into where you could see like above the apartment buildings and stuff. And when I looked down, I see a bunch of people start coming outside and they cheering, they like happy and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I didn't really want that much attention. So I like went back down to the ground and I was about to let her go. And the girl walked up to her and she was like, how did you do that to the girl? And she was like, I didn't do it. He did that with his energy. And I was like, oh shit, she can't fly? Because I thought she could fly. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm young and I'm like naive. I'm like thinking, I'm like, you want to fly? I'm thinking we're gonna fly off, but she couldn't fly. I'm over here making her fly and shit. So I get down to the ground. So I like when she said that, I was like, oh shit, I did something. I wasn't supposed to do that, and I ran off, and I was trying to get away from the people, and I seen this tree, and I was like, I'm gonna jump in that tree, and so I jumped inside the tree. I jumped on the tree. I flew up to the top of the tree, and I was sitting in there, and I'm looking down, and I'm looking at everything. Next, you know, a woman, she started talking to me. She was like, "You a baby," and I was like, who what? I'm a baby. And she said, the way you acting in this, the way you acting is like a baby. Don't know what you doing, just running around, just stumbling and just whoop, whoop, whoop. She was just talking to me like kind of like a mother though. But and as she's talking to me, I see another dude. He said, no, the lady told me, no, okay, the other dude, he said, nah, I've seen him before. He come here often. And I'm like, how the fuck how you see me? Like, when the fuck you see me? Next you know, out of nowhere I start hearing like the boom, boom. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I look, it's these three giant men. I think it was three. Let me not lie. It could have been two, but it was like a few men. There was giants. I'm talking about towering over the buildings, like, and they walking up, but the tree was big. And as they walk into the tree, I see big ass giants. I start hiding. I go across on the other side of the tree, and I'm just sitting on the other side of the tree because I don't want them to see me because I just lifted this lady up in the air. So I'm like, I don't know why they came, like, what they here for? And they giants. He's like, I could fit in their mouth. So he walks straight to the tree. Just one of them, though, walked straight to the tree. And he bent down and he started talking to that lady. Hello, hello, hello. What's happening? What's happening? How you doing? He started talking to the lady. He said, are you still in jail? And when he said that, I'm like, she is in a tree. She ain't in jail. Like I'm thinking that in my head. Like, you talking about she's still in jail. She like, yeah, I'm still in jail. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I skipped a part too because at the when she was telling me about herself or telling me all this stuff about me, and he was saying he saw me, I come through there often. She was like, I reincarnated after Ra. And I'm like, after Ra? I don't know who reincarnated. I don't know who's like, I don't know the matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just having out of bodies. But when he said he was talking to her, he was like, you still in jail? And he started talking to her, just normal. I'm still scared, even though he's talking to her and it sounds polite. But then he turns, it's like his head just said, boom, and looked at me. And he said, what are you doing? Soon as he said that shit, I took off. I hopped out that tree and I just started flying. And I'm flying and he's like chasing me. But it's like he like chasing me and he's like, as I'm flying, I'm trying to get away. So I'm like trying to my thought is he's big. So I need to fly up out of this place. And I'm trying to fly up. And it's like he was creating a roof. Like it's like he created a building. I don't know. Like it was weird. It was like every time I tried to fly up, I seen a ceiling. And I'm like, I was just outside. Why is it a ceiling? It's like it was like and so I just keep going. I keep going. And next, you know, like I go into this room and he follows me into this room. And as I'm flying into this room, I'm like going this leg, I'm flying around and I end up by this like window. And this room was huge. It's like this had to be like his place or something because it had big ass chairs in there. The windows was big as hell. I was like, oh damn, flying that motherfucker. Like I'm flying around there. And that's when I stopped. And he was like, he looked at me, he said, if I catch you doing that again, you're done. And when he said that, I'm like, done? The fuck you mean I'm done? I said, done with what? I finally said something to him after being scared. I'm like, done with what? And he said, he looked back and he said, your job. Turned around and just walked off. And now I'm sitting there more confused because now I'm sitting there like, what the fuck job you talking about? Because I never heard about me having a job, except in real life. But you talking about your job? Like, what do you mean? Am I gonna die if I make somebody fly again? Like, what do you mean? What is my job? But yeah, man, I've had so many experiences. It'd be funny. I like talking about my experiences. It says, wow, that's so neat. It wasn't at the time, but That shit was scary at the time. I was because it's. I'm telling you, like you think about him doing like this, I would have fit in his mouth. But then the next time I dreamed of, I mean, I said dream. The next time I came out my body and I was with like these giants, I was kicking it with them, and I don't even know how I was so comfortable. I was standing on one of the dude's shoulders, and they was watching TV, and I was just standing on his shoulder, and I was just messing around, just joking with him and stuff. But that experience wasn't that. It's like a lot of stuff didn't happen. It's like it wasn't nothing that was like it stands out because it was like I was just kicking it with these big ass giants, and I'm like this little bitty fly dude. I probably wasn't even kicking it with them. They probably thought I was a fly. They just didn't recognize I was on their shoulder. But yeah, I've had a bunch of experience. Any of y'all have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Dang, my ankle is killing me right now. But yeah, I have a lot of I don't know. Sometimes I'll be thinking out and I'll be like, man, I think I've been telling too many of my experiences. I ain't gonna have nothing to talk about. But then it's like I'll be like, when I be talking to y'all on this live, other experiences be popping up in my head. It says, "Have you ever seen tornadoes in an out of body?" Tornadoes? No, except for the one I was in. But that I don't know if that was a tornado. That was more like a vortex or something. But I've never seen an actual like tornado in the out of body. I've seen a flood 3 times. Says, all right, I'm finna head out. Take it easy, boss. Already, Billy Bob, take it easy, man. But yeah, I seen a flood 3 times. One time I was what was it? I was doing that little fallback technique in my lucid dream because I was in this place and it was like these people running around. I was like, okay, I caught myself like in a dream. I became lucid and I was like, I don't know if I'm in a lucid dream and I didn't do the little test that I usually would do. So I went to this gate and I jumped on top of the gate and I just did like this and I fell back. And when I opened my eyes, I was still there. And so I was like, let me do it one more time. So I jumped on the gate and I fell back. Boom. Next you know, I floated out, like not like floated out like you like when you be in your out of body in your bed and you just float out. It was like I floated upward, and when I floated upward, my consciousness shifted, and then I was just hovering over water like an ocean. Like you couldn't see nothing when I couldn't see nothing where I was looking at, but when I turned around, I seen a target, like a building that was like, but it was Target, and it was some other buildings, but they was all underwater. They was all underwater, and I was like, "What the?" And then I'm hearing this. I'm hearing because when you in the out of body, you hear your hearing is like on point. It's like you can hear everything. You can feel a lot of stuff. Like so, I'm in this. I'm like hovering over this ocean water. And to be honest with you, in real life, you probably won't catch me ever swimming in no damn ocean. I'm kind of afraid to be in a cruise ship because I be thinking about all them creatures, all the things that's in that motherfucker. So in my outer body, I'm thinking the same damn thing. I'm like, I'm hovering over this ocean, and I'm like, and I'm feeling. You know how you know how when like you ever been by a waterfall before and that mist be hitting you, and it feel good, but I'm in this ocean. I can hear the waves like, and I can feel this mist just hitting me, and I'm at the time like and I seen it was a flood, like it was like buildings underwater, I started like freaking out. Oh my god, nah, wake up. No, I woke up. I finally woke up and I was like, what the hell was that? I was like, we're gonna have a flood or something. Well, I see in the future. Then some time passed and I was in this experience. I didn't know where I was at. But I knew it was like really sunny, tropical type place and but it wasn't like no other country. This was in the United States. I knew that, but as I'm walking down this sidewalk, and it was a beach. It was a beach, but the beach went down. It was like it had businesses lined up, but then it was a beach. If you went further down, like you can be at the restaurant, and then you can walk down a pathway, and you can go to the beach. That's how it was set up. Now, from what I understand, I mean, from what I've been getting from it now, that look, it seemed like I was in Miami. It says you probably had one of the other stories buried in. Yeah, I got a lot. Um, but it was either I might be wrong, but it was like Florida, Miami Beach, or I don't know where it was, but I had to Google like, and I didn't really find it. But I'm like, it looked like Miami, but I was walking, and then I seen this like restaurant, and I like walked into it. It wasn't a restaurant. It was like a well, I guess it kind of was like a restaurant. I don't know what you would call it, but I walked in there because I heard music playing because they had like outdoors tables. People was out there eating, kicking it, and they was listening to this music. I wish I can remember what it was because it wasn't something that I know or that I've heard in real life, but it was playing, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope. And I went in there, and I'm going in there. Of the experiences, it, or is it like a one time thing? Well, hold up. Let me read that. Let me highlight that because I want to see it better. Can you revisit OBE experiences, or is it like a one time thing? Yeah, you can revisit. Um, you can revisit places that you've been before, but yeah, I was like in Miami or something. And when I went into this place, I walk in and it's like this music playing and it's like glass windows on this side. But when you go into the restaurant part, it was like the deal was like over on this on the right side, and you can go through the back way to go down towards the beach. So I'm like, I want to go to the beach. So I go out that deal and I go to the I go down to the beach. And as I go down to the beach, I'm looking at the water and I'm noticing that the water is like rising up, like it's like raising up. And I'm like, oh shit. So I run back into the building and I'm telling everybody, it's a flood. It's a flood. And when I turn around, the water's already close. And as soon as the water hit, the glass broke. It was like when the glass broke, I just flew back and I ended up waking up. Then I had that same out of body experience again, like some years later. Had the same experience, the same music going in there, but this time I knew what was about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I had it already. So I'm like, hold up, I've been here before. I've seen this before. And it said, who's your favorite Marvel character? I don't know who is my favorite Marvel character. Hmm. That's a good. I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna get back to that. So yeah, it says, yeah, yeah, I'm jealous. I only have a handful of OBEs, so hearing these stories are really interesting. Don't be jealous. You're gonna have them soon enough. They're gonna be coming, and you ain't gonna be. You're gonna be like, oh my god. It said that sounds like a tsunami. Yeah, it was. It was like a tsunami. You know how they say the tectonic plates or whatever. Maybe it, and that sucker just. But yeah, the second time I had the experience, I was trying to tell them it's a flood coming. It's a flood. It's a flood. This and that. And I seen it coming, and I just sat there like I'm gonna wake up. 'Cause it just woke up. But yeah, I seen that. I was like, that's crazy as hell. And it felt so real. But I'm glad it don't feel real to the point where you feel like the pain and shit. Cause I know if it's glass breaking and you underwater, the thing about out of bodies is if you underwater, you can breathe underwater. And I didn't know that at first. I didn't know that until I did it on accident. I didn't even realize that I was like it felt like I was breathing underwater. But at that time I was scared, like hell no, I don't want to go under the water. Because last time, well, that wasn't the last was it? The last time I was in the ocean in an out of body, uh, before that, that's when I seen the who I think was Yemenya. It says, "Lucky you, I haven't had any. I'm too afraid, very afraid." Yeah, you'll get over it one of these days. You know, before my pops had passed away, he was having out of bodies, and I didn't know that. My brother called me and told me he was like, "Hey, call daddy or something," because he was telling me these experiences he was having, and I was like, Chris be having those experiences. You need to talk to him because he was like seeing angels coming into his room. Now my daddy had cancer, He was messed up pretty bad, and I guess he was when he was telling me, he was like he's seen these angels coming to his room, and I'm like, yeah. That when he told me that, I was like, yeah, he finna go, yeah, he finna go. But yeah, I mean, luckily somebody came for him. You know what I mean? Because, sheesh, you be in them low vibrations like some of these people out here that can't seem to get out their emotions. Might not be nobody coming for you. Your vibration's too low. How they gonna take you somewhere better if when they get there you can't even enter? There is something called meaning death awareness. Is that nearing death awareness? Okay, I wasn't reading it right. I thought that was an M. Let me put that on screen. Nearing death experience. Yes, yes, that's true. That's very true. It is common in hospice patients. Yep, that's very true. They don't. A lot of them don't be knowing what's going on. They be thinking it's real. And the crazy part is when my brother told me that, I told my brother, I was like, I figured, because when we went to visit him, my daddy couldn't, like, he was messed up pretty bad. So it's like he was like, they got you on all them drugs and all that stuff, and he was looking at us weird. He was just looking at us weird, and I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't think he think this is real. Like, I feel like he think he's in a dream, because like the way he was looking at us. And then when I was talking to him, he was like, when y'all came, I didn't. He said, I didn't know if y'all was real, because I was like, I didn't know if I was dreaming or not. And I was like, yeah, I get what you're saying. He said that happened to my mom too. She was seeing people coming for. Yep, yeah, it happens a lot. I just hope something come with me. Like, come with me. Then tell me when you coming for me that I ain't got to come back. As long as I ain't going nowhere bad. So I got to keep myself in good energies. And, I used to fight so many negative, so-called negative entities or beings, that I'm like, shit, I need to do right in life, because they waiting on me. No, they like, I'm waiting for you to mess up. You done sent my ass over here into this low vibratory realm. I was trying to get some energy so I can go high. Nah. But yeah, it happens a lot. And it's crazy how that happens. Phew. It's crazy how that happens. But it's pretty interesting. But that's why I feel like people need to really know about this stuff. Because imagine if you know about this stuff and you having those experiences. But um, at the same time, imagine you had an experience and you know what's going on. You might leave faster than you were supposed to. You be like, hold up, y'all came to get me? Let me pack my bags. I'm out this motherfucker. Shit, I'm tired. I'm in pain. They got me on chemotherapy. I need to go home. Tired of being in pain. But it was weird how it happened, because we was talking on the phone. It was because when I was younger, I had to end up dropping out of school. So I had to end up getting a GED. And he was on me like, you need to get your GED, this and that and that. And I'm like, I'm getting it. I was going to school for it. I was staying with my brother, and I would call him, let him know like, hey, I'm almost done with the whoop. And right after I got my GED, and I called him and told him I got my GED the day after, he passed away. It says, all right, fam, I'm about to get this money. Go get that money, man. Go get that money, dog. It says, we all are really just some of us still. Let's say, hold on, let me put it on the screen. It says, we all are really just some, or just some of us still asleep and need to be awakened. OBEs are only one ability we have. We are capable of so much more. Yes, Lord, we are. We're capable of a lot more. But the thing is that we so busy. We got these jobs. We got so much on our mind. You have no time to really develop these skills. You know what I'm saying? It sometimes it be hard to develop them. Even when it comes to intuition and stuff, your intuition. People look at intuition just like, I felt a gut feeling that I shouldn't be there, and I just like, no, don't go. No, intuition is strong. It's damn that, like, if you learn how to really, if you really start paying attention to your intuition, you'll realize how strong your intuition is. That's a gift. but you have to work that muscle for it to keep growing. I mean, for it to keep getting stronger. Just like when people doing that mind sight, when they be covering their eyes up and they be reading shit, the more they do it, the more it strengthens it and they can do it better. Like I can't do it. I mean, I ain't gonna say I can't do it, but I don't practice to do it. Now I would like to learn how to do that though, because I just want to see if I can. If I ever get to a point where I got like a little bit of freedom where I can just practice some shit, I would definitely try to practice that mind sight. That seemed pretty cool. Shit, telekinesis, levitating objects, and all kind of stuff. We have a lot of abilities that's lying dormant. Because you got to think, we this body is just a container, and it's kind of it's a little harder for us to, you know what I'm saying, do things that we could do in the out of body experience here. It takes a little more effort because we are in a dense reality. This is a low form of reality. This physical realm is dense, and there are realms that yeah, remote viewing. Um, there are realms that's very dense as well, very dense. Um, I be thinking I be remote viewing sometimes, but I ain't remote viewing like they be doing because they be like targeting spots. I be feeling like I'm doing it though, but then sometimes I be like, I don't think I'm doing that shit. Cause when I lay down and I close my eyes, I see images, like not right off the bat, but soon. Like give it about 5 minutes and I'm seeing shit. Like people, uh things. Sometimes it don't even really matter. It'd be some random shit. I might close my eyes and see a pair of legs just walk right by like what the fuck? Just be some random shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, cause I'm not asleep. My eyes is closed, but my vision is hella clear. Like I'm seeing it like I'm watching it through it's like I'm watching it through something that's like this. And I'm just seeing all these people walking around and stuff. And I'm gonna do your remote view. I need to look into that more. My problem is that I got to a point where I used to research so much stuff, research everything. And then I just started getting out of the research. But I'm like, I need to start researching more again. I need to learn more about remote viewing and all the abilities that we have that we're capable of. But also I've been trying to figure out how to help people get out of that lower vibratory realm. I'm trying to say it in a better way because when I was younger, all I said was get people, these people be in this low dimension, you know what I'm saying, this hell realm. And when you say that, people think when you say a hell realm, they think you're talking about some place with a bunch of fire and stuff. But that ain't what I'm talking about. It's just a lost, like a place of lost with lost people. But you have had people that had near death experiences that experience shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but then we have this thing. Like I know we all like I believe this too. Like you see you experience. Hello, it says many trials, e.g. Yeah, I keep forgetting that I can show your comments on the stage. Many tribes, Aborigines found it as a very essential tool to remind them that they were not this body, as well as learn how to control this life from lessons learned in OBEs and lucid dreams. Yeah, I think that does help. Like, I know some people might not look at the outer bodies as something that could help. I don't know, maybe not. But for me, it did. Outer bodies did help me because I experienced lives that I experienced whole life experiences that I was experiencing things that I shouldn't probably know about. Like, not say I know about, but say for instance, like when I was like, I'm like 19, no kids, this and that, and I have an out of body where I have a whole family and I'm a grown ass man, like real grown with a whole family. You know what I'm saying? Feeling you know what I'm saying, the love that I have for the kids, the wife, all this stuff, and arguing with the wife, all kind of stuff. It like having those experiences was like it like taught me some things. Um, and sometimes I feel like even though it wasn't that I experienced like that. I, not to say that I experienced everything in it, but it's like things like download into you when you have these experiences. You'll be talking and you'll say some shit and you'll be like, how did I, what, how did I think of that? Like, what the fuck? How did that come out? But yeah, I've had some, yeah, it's all like, all of this is just, it's interesting. It can be fun, but at the same time, take your time. Take your time. Do your dreams or OBEs involve water or flooding sometimes? Like the one I talked about, the three floods that I seen. That probably was tsunamis. Like what's the name said? Um, what else? Being over the ocean. I done been in the water and seen like mermaid type beings and stuff. Like that one, I think I put a picture up on my post. It was this lady that's like purple and they lived in the water, but they also had homes. Like it was like a hill that went up like this, and it was like houses and stuff. And it was these colorful birds that was like flying down this hill, just going. I ain't gonna lie, it was beautiful. Says right, and also from your OBE visitations into different realms, like how you learned about the deities after your OBE. Yeah, how did I? You said, hold on, let me see. Are you asking me like how did I learn? Oh, let me see realms. Like how you learned about the deities after your OBE. Yeah. I don't know if you like asking me like how did I learn about the deities after my OBE? It says our skills in DNA are dormant to keep us asleep to who and what we really are, but things are shifting and dark forces are losing control over the death of the earth. So our abilities sharpen and truth unfolds. Yes, ma'am. And you know that. Yeah, I believe that. But we always shifting. We always the energy. But the thing is everybody's not shifting. Everybody's not shifting. Everybody's vibration is not on that level. It says just acknowledging that OBEs to teach us things in this life. Yeah, it's saying it teach us things, and it's like in this physical life, it does too. Like it's a lot of stuff. It keep me calm. I mean, it keeps me. Well, I guess it keeps me grounded. But at the same time, I learned that you can't have attachments. Like you can love. Like it's like when you say like when people say like you got to get rid of these attachments and things like that. People look at it like it's a bad thing. You know, people think it's a bad thing to say get rid of their attachments. It's not saying get rid of your attachments and stop loving people and all that stuff. You can't put too much value on the attachments that you have. You like if this right here, if something happened to my deal, I would be upset, but at the same time, it's just material shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't take it with you. You know what I'm saying? So you keep yourself attached to this physical world. When you leave, you ain't gonna want to leave. Let's say for the hello for the in your view, does practicing celibacy and semen retention make it easier to have out of body experiences? Yeah, it can because you're not releasing that energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're keeping it. But yeah, it definitely helps. But you gotta be you gotta get it, you still gotta be, doing your energy work, energy stimulation. Sometimes I lay down and meditate just to work on my energy, not to have an out of body, just to work on my energy, just to feel the energy flow through my body. You know what I'm saying? Every time like, I know people think when you meditate to have out of body. So I meditate to stimulate, like to strengthen that energy, you know. But just like I said, like a lot of people will not The reason a lot of people are not experiencing the out of body experience is because they thinking too much. And that's why a lot of times, if you listen to a lot of people's testimonies about their first experience, it'd be like, I was practicing and practicing and practicing. And then when I was like, I ain't even thinking about it today, they laid on the couch and then they had an out of body because you was tired. You wasn't really thinking about it. You was just like, let me lay down. Boom, had an out of body. Well, even me, when I lay down, I don't think about I have an out of body today. In my mind, I already have the mind in my mind that it's possible that's gonna happen anyway. So I don't even have to say it. Like I'm probably gonna leave my body today. But there is times where I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? There are times when I can feel it before I even lay down. Like I can be in my car and I can just close my eyes just a little bit and I'm say, oh shit, I'm about to have out of body. Let me get in the house. Like let me not have an out of body in the car. Yeah. But you like I don't know how to explain it, how you feel it, but I can feel it. It's an energy. It's an energy. It's like it just goes right. Detachment is a major lesson in realizing that we are more than this body. Hold up. Why does it cut off the dang message where I can't see it? They like we need you to put this on the screen. That we are spirit. Yes, agree. Yeah, we definitely more than this body. Some of y'all might be whole, like people be thinking they're not advanced. Like like they be like, I don't have experiences, so I don't think I'm advanced. You could be more advanced than somebody having out of bodies. That's like I've had thousands of out of body experiences, but you can start having out of bodies tomorrow, and you might be more spiritually advanced than me. It's just your soul, like that's you. You just chose a different time to wake up. You know what I'm saying? It's some very very advanced souls out here that's not really they might have gifts in different areas. Having out of bodies might not be the strongest suit, like the strongest thing for them. Okay, let me read this one. It says absolutely, you better believe it. Shifting of energy, dark forces who created the holographic overlay over the organic energy over Earth are losing control, so it will be chaos before calm. All right now. I'm on here spitting that knowledge. I be liking when y'all be talking about stuff like that because I be say like the holographic overlay and over the organic energy. I'm like, you got you done went to you done turned poetry on that thing. Because back when I first started having experience, people wasn't saying stuff like that. Like it makes me have to be like, hold on, let me look that up. Like what? Because everybody has their theories and perspectives and things of that nature, and I don't knock them because there's certain things that I didn't even believe, but then I end up seeing it, and I was like, damn, so they was right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't knock nobody. Um, but yeah, that's dope. But I know that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be some chaos, you know. But I remember it's been a lot of times where people been like, yeah, it's about to go down, and then it don't go down. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is when you see something sometimes in the spirit, when you see something that's you feel like this is about to happen. A lot of times we think it's gonna happen in our time, and the whole time is not gonna. It don't happen in the time that we're living. It happens. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing something that might transition later. I'm not saying that with that situation, but I'm just saying like sometimes you'll see stuff that you might think is about to happen, but it's not gonna happen when you think because when you see stuff in the spirit, you're not in time no more. You're out of time. So it's like time don't exist over there. So you might be seeing something. You might be in 2026, and you seeing something that's happening in 2050. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be seeing something that's way old. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, yeah. But yeah, you might be seeing something that's old. I mean, not old, but something that's gonna happen in the far future, like way ahead. Um, yeah. So, do anybody else got any questions? I wanna one of these days. One of these days, we're gonna have to have some of y'all up here that that has had out of body experiences, and y'all tell y'all stories on here or something. It says, "Yo, Quavo, yo, Quavo, you're back. I knew you would reincarnate." Nah, that's not. That was who was that? Quavo take off and Offset. No, that's takeoff. You talking about? Yeah, that's takeoff. But yeah, I had to come back, bro. I had to come back, dog. Nah, he younger than me, so he was younger than me. That's like my that'd be like my what how old was he? Was he in his 30s? I don't know. He probably was in his 20s. That'd be like my little cousin or something. Nah. But yeah, how long I've been on here, it's about time for me to take it in and go to bed. But I will be probably going live either tomorrow or wait, this is Friday. I will probably be going live either today, around 8 or 9 p.m. Central Time. Um, if I don't go on Friday, I'll probably be going on Saturday. It says, yes, I have a question. How do you connect with spirit to know what you need to know? How do you connect with spirit to know what you need to know? It depends on what you mean by connect with spirit, because when you're dealing with spirit, you need to make sure you connecting to the right something that's you know what I'm saying, that's got good intentions for you, because you could be in connection with a spirit that does not have your best interest at hand. And I know people, it's I need people to understand it's not some of these spirit, like, because it's different. The spiritual realm is different, than going into these higher planes of existence and stuff. It's like you can be deceived, your higher self. Yes, that's a quick question for that. But the thing is that's you. So if you want to connect to your higher self, start learning who you are. Start meditating. Really talk to yourself. Like, listen to yourself. When people meditate, they hear them voices. I mean, we hear that dialogue in our head, and we don't even be real. Like, I know when I meditate, sometimes I meditate and I'll be sitting there because I don't. My technique of meditation is not to clear my mind. My meditation is to uh, control the clutter in my mind, to get it from being all these different dialogues going on to it to just be one dialogue going on. And when you just have that one dialogue going on, you'll be saying some shit that you'll be like, that was deep as hell. Like, I don't even know how the hell I know that shit. Because that's you are connecting to your higher self in that moment. You're having a real conversation with yourself. We talk about the higher self when we have the outer body. It's like, oh, I had an outer body and I met my higher self. You really need to be connected to your higher self. You need to become one with your higher self. You know, the only you meet your higher self, you need to be meeting yourself. Have you done guides slash walkthroughs on your meditation techniques? I got a video out there. I got a video on my channel that talks about my process of having an out of, like, when I would try to have a out of body. But in most cases I don't. I just let it go because I have them anyway. I just go with the flow, and whenever it happens I just let it happen. It just so happens that I have them a lot, naturally. But there was I did for a time, it was a book called How to Master Astral Projection by Robert, was it Monroe or Bruce? I think Robert Monroe. I think it was Robert Monroe. It might have been Robert Bruce. I have no idea because there's so many damn Roberts having out of bodies. No, like, hey, this guy's name is Robert Dundo. This guy's name is Robert Bruce. This is Robert Tatum. This, God dang. So your name got to be Robert to leave your body? No, I'm just playing. But it's let me see. But yeah, it's a video on my channel talking about that. My techniques, and I talk about REM sleep and all that stuff in it, and how I turn to the side. Let me see who else you have as the other side. What the purpose of religion? No, I never asked anybody what the because it was one experience that I had where I asked somebody about religion, and it was like, "What are you talking about?" No, I asked about like religious figures, and they was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Damn, they don't even know." And then they started talking about what they believed in and stuff, and it was like some shit that I didn't even know. Can you make a video about the spirits or beings that deceive? Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. Robert Monroe, I think, sounds right. Yeah, I believe that's it. Said, go within, meditate, talk to your higher self. The higher self will connect with you through something or someone, and also your spirit will know. Let me see. What's up, family? Anyone else notice when full moon comes, everyone starts acting weird and crazy? Yeah, crazy. I've been going through it today. I about lost it. I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to go live because I'm being some bad energy. But I calmed myself down. I calmed myself down. Uh, Journeys Out of the Body by Robert Monroe. I don't think I read that, but I did have the Mastering Astral Projection where you took it day by day. It was like an orange type book with some yellow letters. You'll go day by day. We have two this month, two full moons this month. Journeys Out of the Body. Yeah. But yeah, I'm when it I had to get back on it says connect. What it say? Connect later, beautiful souls. Bye. Have a nice night. I don't know what time it is where you at, but good night or good morning. I thought the other side was all about unconditional love and truth. How are being able to deceive? Hold up, let me read that on the screen. Or are you talking about the lower planes? When you're talking about the other side, like I think it's a misconception about what people understand or believe. Like when it comes to going to what we see say as the other side or lower realms and all that stuff, because people think that if you're in a realm that is a higher vibratory realm, a higher vibrational realm, that you won't experience anything negative. That's not that's not the case. It's not always unconditional love and truth. It's not like that. It might seem like that to some people, but it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? It's still stuff out there that will deceive you. It's still beings out there that look like angels that's not angels. They basically just why do you think they drain the lower beings try to get energy from you? They're getting that energy from you so they can navigate to a higher, be able to go get more. You know what I'm saying? If I can get energy from you, that means I'm taking it in, and now I can be in a place that's a little bit more like the higher vibrations. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't saying that's all the way true. But when we're talking about the other side, you got to talk about it's so much stuff on the other side. So when we're talking about the other side, it's not just one place that you're going to, and 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 it's like I'm gonna just be in this place all the time, and it's unconditional love. No, the unconditional love is when you go way up. You go, I mean, I said way up, but most of the time it's just shifting energies. Most of these realms is layered, but the unconditional love is in the highest form of vibrations, the highest vibrations and stuff. When you thinking about yeah, it's not like that. Yeah, nah. And you can say lower planes, you know what I'm saying? It's not unconditional love. Yeah, it's lower plane. I mean, I always some people don't even believe that there's lower planes, you know. But I don't want you to go out there and believing that everything is love and light. And then you go out there thinking something is coming. Cause something, say for instance, like the one I encountered that came to me and was trying to work on my energy. If I would have never questioned him and just let him work on my energy and stuff, I would have woke up tired as a motherfucker, mad probably. But since I asked so many questions, he got mad and then he tried to, you know what I'm saying? He tried to attack and I whipped that ass. But yeah, don't go out there being naive. Don't go out there being naive. Have you been out of the construct? Yes. But also, I've been outside the construct, but also, how can I say this? You, because there's different constructs, as many constructs. You know what I'm saying? When you say, have you been outside the, are you saying, have you been outside all of creation? That, I mean, it's, but it's not all of creation because there's other realms that's formless. There's other realms that's full of energy, like beings are energy and not, they don't look like physical form, like people. They just energy flowing around, you know. A lot of those realms that you would look at to say that this is a realm where it's unconditional love, they don't be having like bodies. When you go way in, if you don't go within, you will go without. It says, what happened to you if they take your energy? It's just like a lot of people get their energy drained a lot. That's why some people wake up with attitudes, mad at the world. Uh, they wake up in bad moods because uh, their energy been played with. You know, it could do a lot of different things. It can cause illnesses. That's how you have to get your body worked on or something because you got blockages within your body and stuff, or within your energy flow. I feel like it is about reconnecting. Uh, I feel like it's about resonance, though. If you don't have anything in you that resonates with these tricksters, they can't approach you. Would you agree with that? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's not how that works. I mean, some people might believe that, but that's not exactly how that works. Because you can be the most positive person. That's the energy that they want. That's the good energy they want. If they can trick you to get your energy, that's the best meal they can get. That's like, I mean, you don't have to, because people think you have to vibrate on a low frequency in order for low vibrational beings to come to you. No, sometimes they come into you because you vibrating high. That's why you got to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where, but I'm not knocking nobody else's belief though. Like I said in the beginning, if you don't agree with something that I say, I'm not telling you you got to believe what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that type of person. If that's what you believe, you stick with that because it might help you. You know what I'm saying? You might be out there and, nothing bothering you because you don't feel like you resonate on that level because nobody believes they. I mean, I don't think people understand how that. What's up, dog? I didn't even see you down there. What's up, player? You did make it. Yeah. So I don't think people understand how that really works. Like, if you are in a low vibrational frequency, if your body is safe, if you're a low vibrating person, why would I want your energy? I wouldn't want your energy. You low vibrational. That's like taking your own energy because this is a low vibrational being itself. Why would he want some more low vibrational energy? How do you effectively determine if a being is a trickster? Can you ask help from your spirit guides or angels, etc.? On the way to work. Okay, you're on the way to work, yeah. But yeah, I mean you can ask for assistance, but most of the time you're gonna feel it. Something's gonna be off. But you ask questions. That's my theory. You ask questions. You talk to them because when it's something that is negative, it does not like when you ask too many questions. But don't be believing. I mean, I'm trying to tell y'all ain't got to believe what I say. But I was about to say, don't be believing. But I do want y'all to understand. Like, look, like I was just saying, if I'm a low vibrational person and I'm laying in my bed, there ain't no negative spirit gonna want to drain my energy. My energy sucks. They want that high vibrational energy. It says, okay, thanks. That makes sense. I suppose the clearer we are, the more we will recognize. Yeah, you would definitely recognize if you're aware, because it's about awareness. It's all this out of body stuff. When you out your body, it's about awareness, being consciously aware. Because if you're not aware, you're not going to see the subtle things that you might see when you are aware. You might not look in their eyes. You might not be able to see that they got this glossy look in their eye, this weird dead look in their eye. What if you ask them if they are aligned with unconditional love and truth? Does that work? Yeah, it works because they won't. It's, you might ask them and they might try to say they might try to find a way. Like one situation I had where I asked the lady, are you here for are you what did I ask her? I said, are you operating in your heart or something? I said something like to the fact of what you said. And she just like, and that let me know. She said, okay, time to whip ass. Yeah, you should have said something. Because if you operate in unconditional love, it ain't gonna take you long to say it. And most of the time you're gonna feel it because that love, when you feel that real unconditional love, you feel it. I mean, it's you feel it. It's not like like I don't get like you will not mistake unconditional love in the outer body. Yesterday I practiced saying clarity now in my mind all day, and for some reason I get hold up, let me see, all day, and for some reason I get these little premonitions. Yeah, that happened. It says thank Chris, thanks Chris. Catch you next time. All right, you take it easy and be stay blessed, stay blessed. Time to whoop ass. Hey, for real. I be hey, like people like beings that operate in unconditional love is not gonna sit there and hesitate. Do you operate in unconditional love? Hmm. Like, nah. Get up out of here. Wash him up. Send her away. Can you push them away with unconditional love? I mean, you can try to show them love, but my thing is to get rid of them. I'm not trying to distract you, but for real, you could be a comedian. A lot of people were saying that, but maybe I'll try it one of these days, you know. But yeah, you can try to show you can, but you when you say can you push them away with unconditional love, like you have to really like what do you say, like how do you feel like you can do it? Like are you just gonna run up to them and like hug them and be like I love you? Because you could possibly do that, but it'd be better if you do that to like one of your thought forms. You do that to something that ain't your thought form, but that shit's what? Nah, play. They ain't gonna do that to you like that. At least I don't think. But yeah, you can. I mean, you have to be unconditional love. You know what I'm saying? But you also don't be naive. Don't be naive in the out of body experiences. Do not. I repeat. Do not. Do not. Do not. Do not. Do not be naive in the out of body experiences. That's how people lose their mind because they trust everything and they feel like they can give love to everything. They feel like they can be like, hey, let me hug this. You look like you're something negative. Let me hug you. No, I'm going to walk away. If they follow me, I'm going to whoop that ass. When you fight, does that bring down your vibration? Not necessarily, but I felt that way though. I felt like it could be, and that's when I started doing more energy. Like I would just like lift them up and throw 'em. Like I wouldn't any. Cause first I was like using fit. I was like fighting like I was in a physical world. Like I was putting hands on shit. But now I just be like, get away from me. I ain't about to do none of that. I ain't about to do none of that because it could be. It could be. You could be feeding them. You know what I'm saying? But it's also about how you feeling too in that moment. Like when I have situations like that, I'm not in fear. I'm not in fear. So it's like they can't get no like because most of the time when they're trying to scare you, they're trying to feed off of your fear. And when they can't get that from you, they're powerless. That's why it's so easy to be like, man, get out of here. It's like seeing a baby walk in a room and the baby talking about he about to whip your ass. I'm gonna beat the hell out of you. Like you are a baby. I'm gonna kick you across the room. Like that's like get out of here. How did you get your friend that hold up? How did you get your friend that's on the other side out of his hell? I thought to be honest, I didn't even know if I did. Like To be honest, I didn't because I experienced seeing him like what was it? One, two, three, four times. The fourth time is when he told me he was in heaven. The fourth time. But like I was saying in my experience, when I was talking about my experience, I was telling him because I didn't know what to say. I was like, man, you gotta call on Jesus. I was like, you gotta call on Jesus or something, man. You gotta go to the light, do something, bro. Cause you talking about you got hit by a train and the dudes that's walking with you telling me you trying to keep killing you, you trying to keep taking yourself out so that you can wake up. You can't wake up, you are gone. I mean, you're still alive, but you're in a different form now. You know what I'm saying? Get it together, my boy. You mean? But not all the times it works. Only thing is that's why I'm saying I'm trying to get better at learning how to help people. But I've also had people come to me that passed away, that was like friends of the family, uh, and they was good. Like they was good. They just told me to tell somebody something, and I was like, okay, I'll try. But it's hard to tell somebody some shit when they don't even believe it. You know what I mean? You be like, hey, so I think so. He said this about and they like, oh yeah, you a demon. How? What? Wow. Like I had one of my partners. He wasn't like well, he was a good friend. I ain't gonna say he was like super close, but he was like I was friends with him by way of my cousins. So he he had came to me in an out of body, and he told me that somebody laced they gave him some drugs or something, and that's how he ended up dying. And I tried to tell like I was like because he kept saying he was like I need to. He said somebody they did this to me or something like they gave him like because he passed away from what I heard after that. He had a fentanyl overdose. You imagine leaving your body just to catch an astral. I ain't catching a phase. Line them up. No, have you spoken slash met Jesus? I thought I talked about that. Yes, yes. But I haven't. I didn't sit. I didn't have like no experience where I was like sitting down and having a full dialogue. It was like I didn't even really have a conversation. I just seen him, and they told me you need to follow him, and I was following him down this road, and he just kept walking. They was telling me to follow him, but I was actually in that experience. I was about to fight in that experience. It was it was a bunch of weird shit in this water and shit, and then this big old head popped out the water. And it was like I don't know what it was, but it was a big ass head, and I was ready to fight. And then the lady said, "Oh no, oh no, you oh you have to follow Jesus." And when I looked to the side, I seen him walking. I was like, "What?" And I started following. Have you been to Neo Soul? No. The city beyond the ice wall, Antarctica. The alchemist mentioned that place. No, I have not been to Neo Soul, but hey, I wouldn't mind going. I've been to some places that rained acid. I don't know if it was acid, but I've been to some places where it was like a siren with like I don't know if this was like another this had to be like some it could have been another life, I don't know. But in this place, the siren would come on and it would start raining. The clouds looked like a light gray, I mean light green. And when it would rain, it wasn't like it was acid, but the rain was like hot. You could feel it like tss, tss, like that was strange. That was weird to me because I was like, what the fuck? It's raining and all the houses was built different. I've been in a place where it was raining rocks, like and everybody's houses was underground. It looked like I was on Mars or something, even though I don't know what Mars actually looks like because I've never really been. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you think about this statement? A spiritual warrior knows no war. A spiritual warrior knows no war. I don't know. Where'd you get that? You seen that in like a book? A spiritual warrior knows no war. What do you take from it? But yeah, that I wouldn't mind going to that neo soul because alchemists make that sound good. It was sounding pretty neat. Pretty neat. I've been to a place that I didn't. Um, I won't talk about it. If I talk about it, I'll talk about it on his platform. Because I talked to him about it, but I don't want. Yeah, I'll talk about that on if I go back on his. Do you see the Earth flat or round? Some people swear that NASA is making it all up, but I don't believe they are lying. I think we see things differently in the physical versus in the soul realm. We do see things differently in the physical than we do in the soul realm. It's our perspective. Somebody might leave their body and see the earth and it looks like a dome. Like I've seen it look like a dome, like a like a like a snow globe. But there's been times where when I came on my body and I floated up into what we call space, and I looked at the earth and it was just round, but I couldn't see around the whole thing, so I couldn't tell you what was on the other side. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So I'm like flying away from it. It's like I didn't fly around it. I haven't really heard a lot of people say they flew around the earth to see how it really looked, but most of the time when I come out my body and I go up and out and I see the earth, it's just doing like this. It's getting smaller and smaller. So it's looking like a circle, but it's just getting smaller and smaller. And it's not like you see, but at one time I did see it where it looked like it was like a snow globe damn near. But it's like a bunch of different things you might see when you leave your body. It was one time I left my body and I floated up and I'm still seeing the earth. And when I looked down, I seen some ships, like these spaceships, and it was flying all the way. It was flying down. And as you know, if we think about how we talk about space, there's what's up and down, what's really up and down. But in this experience, there was a down, and there was a surface down there, and these ships was going down there, and I could see them, even though it was like small. They were like, I mean, they when they got down there, they looked really small, but they was landing down there. It was like a whole surface down there. Then the planet is sitting right there in this darkness, but then you could see this. When I looked way down there, it was like a surface, like ground. So that was kind of weird to me. Cause I'm like, hold up, let me find out we just floating in some darkness, and it's like a whole goddamn civilization living on a bigger planet beneath us or whatever. I don't know. Do you see that? But yeah, some people say they see it as flat. Some people say round. Some people say it look like a cube. No, just playing. I don't know if they say it look like a cube, but that's not a subject that I really too much. I'm not really like into the flat Earth or round Earth theories because it's not gonna change the fact that I live on this mother. But I gotta get up out of here, y'all. I got to go to bed, man. Y'all be easy. Y'all be good and stay blessed. I appreciate all y'all for coming through. It's your boy 4thEye, the ghetto guru. And my voice is getting real low because I'm tired. And y'all stay safe and stay blessed. But I got to get up out of here. Peace.